Hello dear students, today we have to see the topic irrational number and real number. In the previous video, we have seen the topic rational number, the definition in the terms of P upon Q and decimal expansion. Okay, in two terms we have seen the definition of the rational number. Now today we have to see the topic irrational number and real number. Before starting that, in the class 8 you have studied that how to plot the value of root 2 and root 3 on a number line. So now let's see irrational number and real number. Before that we have to see the types of proof. In your mathematics textbook, that is part 2nd, in the first chapter at the page number 8 and 9, it is very good explained that what are the proofs, what are the theorems, what are the postulates and what are the types of proof. So for the more information you may refer to the part 2nd textbook at the page number 8 and 9. In simply we will discuss there are two types of proof. There are two types of proof, direct proof and indirect proof. In this proof, that is in direct proof, we prove that the conditional statement is true, and in these types of proof, that is indirect proof, we see that these types of proof start with an assumption that the part to prove is false. So by using the indirect proof we will see one example. So let's see. Root 2 is an irrational number. With the help of the indirect proof, we have to prove this example that root 2 is an irrational number. So what does the indirect proof says? Indirect proof says that the part, in this part we assume that the part to prove is false. So first of all we have to consider that root 2 is not a irrational number. Means what? It is a rational number. So let's see. Root 2 is not an irrational number. So we have to consider as root 2 as a rational number. Therefore root 2 is a rational number. If root 2 is a rational number, then we can express it in the form of P upon Q. Therefore root 2 equal to what? P upon Q form. Now here P and Q are what? P and Q are integers, and second, P and Q has no common factor other than 1. Okay, then if we square on the both side, what we will get? Root 2 square equal to P upon Q bracket whole square. Therefore it becomes 2, and here P square upon Q square. If Q is at the denominator, when it transposes to the LHS, then it gets 2 multiplied by 2, that is 2 times Q square equal to P square. Now P square, value of P square is what? 2 times Q square, means what? P square is what? In a multiple of 2. Therefore P square is even. If P square is even, so P is also even. Means what? 2 is a factor of P. Here 2 is a factor of P. Then next we have to see again 2 is a factor of p, so p can be written as p equal to 2 times t, where t again belongs to the integer, that is I. Again we take square on both sides, p square equal to 2t square, therefore p square equal to 4t square. Again one thing is there, that p square equal to 4t square, we can substitute the value of p square, that is 4t square in this step. So what we will get, therefore 2 times q square equal to 4 times t square. Here 2 and 4 get cancelled, that is 2 1 is 2, 2 2 is 4, therefore q square equal to 2 times t square. Again what we get here, q square equal to 2 times t square. 2 times t square means what? Q square is again even number, therefore q square is even. If q square is even, it means q is even, and if q is even, therefore 2 is again a factor of q, sorry, 2 is again a factor of q. See it as equation 1 and this as equation 2. Therefore from equation 1 and 2, what we get here, 2 is a common factor of p and q, which is contradiction. Because what we assume here, p and q has no common factor other than 1, and here what we get, 2 is a common factor of p and q, therefore which is contradiction, that p and q have no other common factor other than 1. So our assumption is wrong, therefore our assumption that root 2 is a rational number is wrong. It means that root 2 is an irrational number. In this way, we have proved the given example with the help of indirect proof. Same way, we can prove for the root 3, root 5, root 7 and so on. Now next we have to see the important points on the topic irrational number. So first of all, the number which are represented by a point on a number line are called real numbers. Representation of the point on the number line we can define as a real number. Again, in terms of rational and combination of rational and irrational number forms a real number. Again, second, every point on a number line is associated with the unique real number. Means on a number line there is only one and only one point for a unique real numbers. Second, every number is associated with the unique point on the number line. Both are the same. And third one is every rational number is a real number, but real number may not be a rational number. Then next we have to see decimal form of the irrational number. Here the decimal form of the irrational number we have to find. As compared to the rational number, the number was in the form of p upon q. We have to find the decimal expansion of the rational number. Now here we have to find the decimal expansion of the irrational number. So let's see. Consider here root 2. We have to find the value of root 2. Okay. First of all, we take here 2 and we can write the 2 in the form of non-terminating recurring one. Okay, but one thing we have to do, we are finding the decimal form of the irrational number root 2. So here we have to take here 2, okay, and represent the 2 in the form of non-terminating recurring one. Here 2 non-terminating recurring means what? Here zeros are never ending and again the same number is repeating, that is 0 0 0 0. So it is in the form of non-terminating recurring one. After the decimal point, we have to represent the zeros in the pair. Now first take for 1. One rule is there, if we divide the given number by 1, so the number we have to represent at the 3 places, that is 1 1 1. Here 1 ones are 1. Here we have to do the addition and here we have to do the subtraction, that is 1 ones are 1. Here 1 plus 1 is what? 2. 2 minus 1 is what? Here 1. Now if we carry 2 zeros to the down, that is right to the 1, so in the quotient the decimal point gets. Now if we consider here 4, so 2 becomes now here 24, 2 digit number, that is 24. If we consider here 4, so we have to multiply the given number 24 by 4 only. So if we multiply here 24 for that is a 96. Again the same thing, 4 we have to represent it at the 3 places, here 1 2 and here 3. Here it gets added, that is 24 plus 4, that is, it is a 28. Now if we do the subtraction, here we get the remainder as a 4. Again take 2 zeros. Now if we consider here 2, it will become here 3 digit number. Okay, before it was a 22. If you add here 2, then it becomes 3 digit number. Now but rule is what? If whatever number we take, we have to multiply it by the same number. So if you multiply it by the same number, it will be value will be more than 400. So value should be less than or equal to 400. So let's multiply it by 1. It becomes 281. If you multiply it by the 1, what we get here? 281 multiplied by 1, that is 281, which is less than 400. Again same way, we have to subtract it here 281 from the 400 and here we have to add. So first of all we will do the addition, it becomes 282 and here subtraction will be what? 100 and means remainder is 119. Again carry 2 zeros. The zeros we have to carry in terms of pair only. Now take here 4. If we multiply 2824 by 4, we get 4 for the 16, carry 1, 4 to the 8 plus 1, 9, 8 for the 32, 4 to the 8, 8 plus 3, 11. That is, we multiplied by the 4. So what we get? 11,296. Whatever the product should be, it should be less than the remainder what we have obtained before. Now do the subtraction and here addition. 10 minus 6, 4, 10 minus 10, 0, 9 minus 6, sorry 9 minus 3, 6, here becomes 0. The remainder is what? Here 604. Again same way, carry 2 zeros. Here it becomes, addition becomes, that is 2828, that is 2828. Now next number what we have to do, if we multiply here by the 2, if we take here 2, so it becomes 5 digit number. If we multiply it by the 2, it should be less than 60,400. Let's we'll see. 28282 multiplied by 2. 2 to the 4, 8 to the 16, carry 1. 2 to the 4 plus 1, 5. 8 to the 16, 6, carry 1. 2 to the 4 plus 1, 5. It is 56564. That is 56,564, which is less than 60,400. So we have to take here 2. Again by the same rule, here we have to add here, and in the quotient also we have to give here 2 and subtract the product. 56564. So subtraction will be 10 minus 4, 6, carry 1. 10 minus 7, 3, carry 1. 14 minus 6, 8, carry 1. 10 minus 7, 3, carry 1, 0. Again here the addition will be 28284, that is 28,284. Again take 2 zeros. Okay, if you multiply the given number, that is 5 digit, it was a 5 digit number, we add here 1, so it becomes here 6 digit number. If you multiply the given number by 1, what we get here? Again 1 should be given at the 3 places, 1, 2 and here 3. It will be 282842. 282841. Again we do the subtraction. What we get? 10 minus 1, 9. 10 minus 5, 5. 16 minus 9, it becomes 7. 0, 0 and here 1. Okay. In this way it will be carried up to the infinite numbers. So what is the value of root 2? Root 2 is what? 1.41421. This we have to find up to the maximum 4 to 5 digit after the decimal points. Okay. Same way we can find for the root 3. For the root 3, we will see. By same method we have to do for which we have done for the root 2. Okay. Divide the given number by 1, that is 1 1 is 1. But as per the rule, if we take here 1, so we have to write the number at 3 places, that is 1 1 and here 1. Here 1, if we add here 1, so here 1 is for the addition, that is 1 plus 1, it becomes here 2, and 3 minus 1 here becomes 2. If we carry 2 zeros, but the 2 zeros are after the decimal point, so we have to, in the quotient we have to give a decimal point. Okay. Now here 2 is a single, that is 1 digit number. If we add another number to the right side, so it becomes 2 digit number, but the number should be what? If we add the given number x and we multiply the given 2 digit number by the x, that should be less than or equal to 200. So let's take 7. If we multiply 27 by 7, we get here 189, and that is less than 200. So here we have to take 7. Again 7 we have to write at the 3 places, 7, 7 and 7. Here it should be addition, and here 27 into 7, that is product should be subtracted from 200, that is 189. Here addition is what? 34, and the remainder is what? Here 11. Take again 2 zeros. Now here 34 is 2 digit number. Again we will add 1 digit to the right of 4, so it becomes 3 digit number, but that number should be what? If you multiply by the whatever digit we have added to the right to the 4, if you take the product, it should be less than or equal to 1100, that is 1100. So let's consider here 3. If we take the multiplication, that is product of the 343 by the 3, what we get here? 3 3 is a 9, 4 3 is a 12, 3 3 is a 9 plus 1 10, that is the product is what? 1029, which is less than 1100. So here we take 3, so we have to add here 3, and if you multiply the 343 by the 3, what we get? 1029, which we have to subtract from the remainder. Here the remainder is what? 71. The number is what here after the addition? 3 4 6. Again take here 2 zeros. Now it is a 3-digit number. If we add 1 digit to the right after the 6, so it becomes what? 4-digit number. So let's consider as a 2. The number is now, the value is what? 3462. If we multiplied it by 2, what we get? 3462 multiplied by 2. What we get here? 4. 6 to the 12, 2 carry 1, 4 to the 8, 8 plus 1 9, 3 to the 6, that is 6924, which is less than 7100. Here we to do the subtraction from the remainder, and by which number we have added, by which number we have multiplied by 2, so we add here by 2, so it become 3 4 6 4, and the remainder is what? 6, 10 minus 3, 7. Okay. Again, in the same way we can carry. So here zeros are what? Non-terminating and recurring one. So here quotient will be also non-terminating and recurring. Therefore, the value of root 3 is what? 1.732 dot dot dot. That is infinite, non-terminating and non-recurring. So let's see what we have observed here. When we have studied for the rational number, the decimal expansion was what? Either it is terminating or non-terminating recurring. But in terms of the irrational number is what? Non-terminating and non-recurring. In short, we say that irrational number comes means what? Its decimal expansion or decimal form is what? Non-terminating and non-recurring one. These properties are based on the mathematical operation. Mathematical operation in the sense what? Here it comes addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of the two numbers. Now first of all we will see addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction of a rational number with irrational number is irrational number. If we consider here first number as an A as an rational number and B as an irrational number. If we carry the operation as an addition or subtraction, we get here C as a number which is again equal to irrational number. That is here rational number plus irrational number, we get here answer as an irrational number. Same way the second property is for multiplication and division. Again same, multiplication and division of rational number with irrational number is again irrational number. In the same way, consider A as an rational number and B and C as an irrational number. If we do the mathematical operation or we apply the mathematical operation on the both numbers, that is A and B, that is rational and irrational, the answer we will get as an again irrational number. Rational number, again irrational number, we get here answer as an irrational number. Subtraction, division and multiplication of an irrational number with irrational number is either rational or irrational. In the first two properties, it was fixed said that if one is a rational number and another is irrational number, if we apply the mathematical operation, that is addition, subtraction, division and multiplication, so answer should be given as irrational number only. But in this case, if we add, subtract, divide or multiply to the two irrational numbers, that is irrational number and another also irrational number, so whatever result or answer we will get, it will be rational or irrational number. So let's see some example. Root 2 plus minus 5 minus root 2. What we get here? If we add two irrational number, okay, so what we get here? Root 2 minus of 5 minus of root 2 plus root 2 minus root 2 get cancelled, that is minus 5, which is again an here rational number. Next second, root of 3 minus 4 minus of 4 plus of root 3. So what we get here? Root of 3 minus of 4 minus root 3 plus root 3 minus root 3 get cancelled. Here we get here minus 4, which can be written as into form of P upon Q. So it is a rational number. Third one, here for addition we have done, for subtraction now we will do multiplication. Now root of 2 into root of 5, what we get here? Root of 10. Here it is a irrational number. Again for fourth, root of 2 into root of 2, if we do it, we get here plus 2, that is it is a rational number. Fifth one, 5 root of 3 divided by root of 3, means simply we can write as 5 root of 3 divided by root of 3 means what? Simply 1 root of 3. Here root of 3 get cancelled, that is 5 upon 1, which is equal to simply 5. Again it is a rational number. Again, root of 3 plus 4 root of 3. What we get? A root of 3 can be given as 1 root of 3 plus 4 root of 3, that is equal to 5 root of 3. It is again a irrational number. Means addition, subtraction, division and multiplication of two irrational number is either a rational or irrational numbers.